Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. It's Brother David Hodge.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. I'm Fatima Hodge.
Welcome. All right, brothers and sisters. We're headed to a time of unprecedented trouble. A time like no other, and never will there be. A time of intense darkness. And during this time, it's going to be so dark that you're going to need, it's only going to be one light that's going to be able to guide you out of this darkness, which is the light of the Injil, which is the unsealed scriptures of Revelations, which is the last book, which is the last book of every Bible. That's where we are, brothers and sisters, in time. We're living out the scriptures. And we are in that time where your life, as you know it, is about to change forever. Your day-to-day activities and events and this normal life, right? It's about to change in the blink of an eye. Life as you know it is not about to be the same. Because America is the American dream is about to be over. It's about to be shut down. So there won't be any more going to concerts and smoking and drinking and eating all day and, doing what you want to do, watching TV, watching movies, going to the, like I said, kickback concerts, going to go see the World Cup. See? Won't be no more of the day-to-day life that you're used to. No more going on trips and vacations and kicking it and going to go get ice cream and go get funnel cakes and go to fairs. All that stuff is about to be over with, brothers and sisters. This reality is about to come to a screeching halt. And the thing is, everyone's going on with life as usual and don't realize that they're about to be affected. And the only people we truly care about is our people and how it's going to affect our people. You see? But the thing is, we're mixed up with all these individuals. We're mixed in with with these devils, these demons, which are physical people, physical individuals. And our people, they don't realize that they're separate from these individuals. So that's the issue. During this time, our people are going to be in danger. And they'll run right into the enemy. Because they don't know who their enemies are. They don't know they don't know that they have enemies. Which is going to be dangerous. Because during this time, we can only depend on one another. Us original black women and the black men and women of America. We can only depend on each other. Those who headed out of here. The ones who are willing to get out of here and get their right mind, and be on the first flight home out of here. We try to get out of here, brothers and sisters. We're not trying to stay here because we know how it's going to end. America's about to go up in smoke. It's about to be burnt down, consumed in fire. It's on fire, but it's about to collapse and burn down. So it does you no good to invest in America because it's about to go up in smoke. So I mean, anything you invest, including yourself, is going to go up in smoke as well. So there is no, what do you say? There is no hope for America or saving America because they are in the judgment, and that's what's headed. All these things about to take place here in America because of what they've done to us. Specifically, what they've done to us, and they have consequence built up from other things that they've done because they've exceeded their limits. That's what happens. That's what consequence. That's their consequence for doing certain things to individuals. On top of completely dehumanizing us past imaginable. 400 years of servitude and affliction. The affliction is the part that they leave out. It was a part 2. They only tell you that our experience was slavery. Well, that would have been good. That would have been great if it was just slavery. It'd be no problem. See? That's fine. Nothing wrong with slavery. You see? Working hard, being put under intense work scheduling, and having to work the field or do whatever master tell you to do, right? That's fine. You see? Master feeds you, and if he feeds you right and make sure he nurture you and, make sure he take care of you so you can get up and work again. You see? There's nothing wrong with that. You see? Give you a nice place to stay, give you some clothes, some nice clothes. You see? Take care of you, right? But you got to be a slave to him. But that ain't how the story went. That's not how it went. They was raping, murdering. They was sodomizing us. They was castrating us, disemboweling us. They was dismantling us. They was hanging us, burning us. They was cutting us up. They was cutting us while we was alive, cutting on us, experimenting on us without anesthesia. They were whipping and beating you to death. You see, you didn't get the rest. Wasn't no good. You got a good pillow and you rest on a soft, nice, plushy area.
Good morning.
Right. Wasn't none of that. We was we were literally shackled and chained up, and we were confined to small spaces like shelter, like little sheds, and we had to sleep on top of one another, and on top of that, you had to use the restroom, right? So guess what they made you do? They made you urinate and defecate on one another. That's what they was doing. And like I said, you didn't get much sleep, an hour at best, right? You was working 23 to 24 hours a day. That's what they let you sleep. You see? Most of our people, we didn't make it to a certain age. We didn't probably make it to 30. They worked you so hard and they beat you and was doing all these things to you, terrorizing and torturing you, making you miserable 24/7, 365, relentlessly. And they was raping our women relentlessly. That they produced their own black-faced children from the rape of the black woman, which now half of the blacks here in America are demons. So yeah, we got all these 34 million blacks in America, but half of them is Master's children. And the craziest part is, Master don't even claim them. He had these children and blamed them and threw them on top of us, threw us in the dish and threw them on top of us. Now we mixed up with them. You see, and they're doing damage to our people, because you can't. It's hard to identify them because they look like us, but they're not us. You see, and they're the ones corrupting our communities. They're the ones who's causing the crime. They're the ones causing the hate. You see, black on black crime, right? Well, it's not. It's demon on original crime, or it's demons on demon crime. You see, that's their black-faced children. They act like they devil daddies. See, but they give us the bad rep, because they look like us. So now they're our examples. They are our role models. They're here to interfere and to poison our name, our reputation. They're here to keep you within the programming, keep you misled, keep you confused, keep you pushing the American dream, keep the hope alive that maybe one day you could do it. You can get in Master's house. But the reason why they was in the house is because they was Master's children. You see? House Negroes. Because they were Master's children. He could depend on his children. They wouldn't let no nigga like you get in the house, feed their babies. You poison their babies. They wouldn't let you cook their food. You poison their ass. You'll find a way to slip something in their food. Right, Master think twice about that, won't he? So our experience was not some walk in the park, some damn what do you call that? Ice cream sundae. Wasn't sweet. Wasn't nothing sweet about our experience. But that's what they try to make it seem. Like we was jumping the broom, living up in Master's house. Master was feeding us good meals. Master was treating us good. We treating us real nice. You see? Oh, we was doing good. It was good when we was with Master. You see? That's what they want you to believe. That slavery wasn't bad. It was just everybody was slaves. What you niggas complaining about? That's because they don't tell you about the part 2. The affliction. It was horror. Our experience was horror. Horror. You get it? That's and they leave it out. Why do you think they leave it out? Go ahead, sister.
Exactly, Susan Brothers. Our true experience is horror. They call our experience a theory. I mean, it maybe could have, should have, would have happened, maybe. We know for a fact that these things took place, sisters and brothers. And they're just trying to hide who they truly are. Because if they were to expose exactly what they did to the black man and woman of America, we would have nothing to do with them, sisters and brothers. Nothing. Which is why they keep our history under the rug, sisters and brothers. Never spoken of. Keep it as highlighted under the word slavery. We know that that is not all that our nation experienced, sisters and brothers. It tells you right here in Genesis the experience of the original nation, what it will be in this land, right? It tells us that know with surety that thy seed shall be sojourners in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, which will be the slavery part that is identified, right? Then it shares that, and they shall afflict them. Now that part is the part that they leave out, the affliction of black man and woman. They only highlight little bits and pieces of our affliction, just to, keep in your mind that, or give you a small idea of what was done to make you think that that was it, though, sisters and brothers. So I'm sure all of our people, when they think of black men and women of American experience, they think of hangings, lynchings, things of that nature, right? Or, them chasing us with dogs, things of that nature, right? That's not all that was done to our nation, sisters and brothers. They also highlight that, in movies, it wouldn't allow us to read, it wouldn't allow us to write. But that's not all, sisters and brothers. As Brother David highlighted, it was horror. So imagine what they do show, right? It was 10 times worse than that, sisters and brothers. 10 times worse than that. And they can't expose what they truly did to our nation, because then they'll be exposed as being wicked monsters, sisters and brothers. You wouldn't want anything to do with them. They need you, sisters and brothers. So they got to keep that image of them being good people, right? And they corrupted our nation with their children, wolves, in sheep's clothing. They look like sheeps, but they have voices of wolves. They speak like wolves. They can disguise themselves, but they look like sheeps, right? But their conversation and the way that they act does not match that sheep description. And that's something that they can't hide. And they're corrupting our nation because they look like us. These are the role models that they give us to look up to. These are the people that's on your television. These are the people that sing in the music that you're listening to. These are the people that are acting in the movie that you're watching. These are the people that are performing on your social media as you scroll. These are the leaders. Martin Luther King. These are their demon children, black-faced children, and these are the only people we have to look up to. So we are acting like them, right? On top of that, we're surrounded by them, so we're picking up on their thoughts, right? Wicked thoughts. We're doing wicked things. That's not who we are. We have to understand that that's not in us, brothers and brothers, which is why complete separation is the vision. Because once we separate, your true self will be exposed, sisters and brothers. And that's what they fear. Separation, sisters and brothers. They can't have us come together, separate from them. They got to keep us in this house. They got to keep us in their house to keep corrupting our brains, to keep corrupting our minds, right? We got to stay around them, with them, in order to do that. So once we separate, we go back to who we are. It's not in us, it's in brothers, it's on us. Because we're here, surrounded by these devils, surrounded by these demons, right? This is not who we truly are, sisters and brothers. Which is why they keep their vision, which is the American dream, pushing 24/7. And their vision is to destroy the black man and woman. Because without that going 24/7, that leaves space, that leaves gray area, right? For you to start to revert back to who you truly are, to how you truly think. So they have to keep this American dream running 24/7, where you have no breaks. So nothing has changed. You're still waking up at 6 a.m., working to long hours of the day, all the way to the end of the night, getting home late, waking back up, doing the same thing, isn't brother? Still going to the plantation. All you have now is a car to get there, right? But they're still controlling your life 24/7. Get them kids to school on time. If you don't have them there, police be at your door, right? So they're controlling your every single move, sister and brother. They're controlling what you're listening to. They're controlling what you're watching. They are in control of that. And it's for a reason. Because they have to keep that control over you, sister and brother. They have to keep you beneath them, right? Because they understand that higher pressure defeats lower pressure, right? So they have to keep us that lower pressure consumers, right? Because that's exactly what we are, right? They've taken our jobs from us, giving them away, all the jobs that we qualified for, right? This is all a tactic to keep us down, sisters and brothers. But we qualified for them, right? But they gave them away to others, right? So now we don't have nothing. No jobs. All we have is flipping burgers, right? Doing mopping floors. Little things that don't really matter, right? This is the job that they give us, right? That we're able to get because it keeps us in that consumer mind, right? If you're not producing anything, right? And on top of that, they have robots in these positions now that are taking over those jobs, sisters and brothers. So this is all in the plans to get rid of you, because now once that's done, right, you no longer matter, right? You're in the way. We don't have to pay you anymore. We have these robots to do that job, right? It's all to destroy you, sisters and brothers. It's their plans from the beginning, sisters and brothers, to get rid of us. Get rid of that seed, sisters and brothers. They raped us, that's what they expressed. They raped the woman. They raped us for a reason. They tried to commit genocide on our nation. They tried to wipe us out through rape, but it didn't work. Because half of the black nation today are original, still. We work with other nations, they wiped them out, right? It didn't work here. And that shows the strength of the black woman. Because that means she had to fight to keep our nation alive. Because we're the one that produces the children, right? So that shows that the black woman is a warrior, sisters and brothers. And they keep her under the rug as well. So we have to understand that the black woman is who kept our nation alive. And they will be honored. They are honored. Without the black woman, we would not be here today. Our nation would not be able to be here to fulfill the Abrahamic covenant, our vision. And just by us being here right now shows that that job was done, right? They did not conquer genocide on our nation. But the results are here still from them attempting to do so, which is their demon children. Right? Now, sisters and brothers, as Brother David highlighted as well, we are now in the time of judgment. Right? Soon, very soon, America is going to be destroyed. Right? Nothing's going to be the same here anymore as he expressed. Right? Unprecedented trouble. That's what's coming here. Now we have to understand that this is a time of judgment, right? For all. Sisters and brothers. And in order to escape this hell that's about to come, you have to be able to keep up with the time, the discipline that's needed for the time that's coming. Sisters and brothers. That is how we will, in fact, prosper during this time. Because like I shared, this is a judgment for all, right? And this is exactly why they made sure that we were in the condition that we're in today. So we wouldn't be prepared, right? For what's about to take place here with us, right? They try to get rid of as many of us as possible if they could, right? To Christianity. And their demon children pushing that constantly 24/7. Right? Churches, pastors. Got our people thinking that their heaven is somewhere when they die. Hell is somewhere underground. Devils and demons or spooks and spirits. Sisters and brothers, this is the mindset they have our people thinking on, the level that they have us thinking on, right? Totally out of reality, sisters and brothers. So you have to understand how serious that is, because, sisters and brothers, we have to understand that we have to think reality, right? Sisters and brothers, and they have us outside of that. Thinking everything is spooks and spirits. Heaven is a place where you die. Hell is a place where you go when you die, if you're being bad or sinned or whatever the case may be, if you kill yourself. Right? Which is why we're here, to put everything straight. Sisters and brothers, heaven is a place on earth. Right? Hell is a place on earth. Everybody. Devils are physical people. Demons are physical people. Angels are physical people. Sisters and brothers, all these things are physical, right? They have you in the mindset that it's not, but they are. Sisters and brothers, they are, in fact. And heaven is a place on earth. So you have to understand that. You have heaven. You're in heaven right now. You're in the devil's heaven, sisters and brothers. And the black man's hell is the devil's heaven. So where are you? In hell. This is hell. Here. In America. Sisters and brothers, you're in hell. Hell's not a place where you go when you die. You're in hell, sisters and brothers. And this is their heaven. And we have to understand that their heaven is coming to an end. Their time is coming to an end. Like I shared, when the time of judgment, right? Their time is melting. Their reality is crumbling as we speak. And there's nothing that they can do to save it, sisters and brothers. Nothing. You can't stop how the universe works, sisters and brothers. Can't stop the seasons from coming in. And winter is coming to an end. And this is the worst winter that we've ever experienced, sisters and brothers. Right? Around all these cold people, this cold reality that you're living in, right? You have to understand that they thrive in the winter. The winter mind is their mind, right? This is why this is their heaven, right? And we thrive in what? The spring. The spring, sisters and brothers. That is our heaven, right? This is why they fear global warming. Why? Think about these things, sisters and brothers. Why they fear global warming? Because that means that their reality is coming to an end. The winter is coming to an end, right? Things are warming up. They're doing all type of things to keep this reality cold, right? They're doing all type of things to do that. Chemtrails, all these things that they're putting out there to keep this reality going. It's all fake. There's a whole bunch of made up chemicals and things like that. Because they know that this is coming to an end. Right? Which is why they are turn this reality, they're attempting to turn this reality into a robotic reality, right? So they can survive, right? Inside a machine, inside of them brothers, putting their I can't even
Right.
putting their
Trying to transfer their consciousness into a
right,
robot.
into robots and things like that, right? Because they know they cannot thrive in the spring, brother. It's not their reality. But this is the attempt to keep their reality going, sister and brother. It's not going to be successful. They cannot stop the spring from coming in. They cannot stop our rise. And that's another thing. That means that we're about to rise. The spring people. The spring people is coming in. Our heaven. Our time. And they know that's who you are, sister and brother. They're trying to get rid of you. Imagine this. Imagine this battle. Imagine this fight. And are they wrong? I mean, they're winter people. They're trying to stop the spring from coming in. They're trying to stay alive, right? So this is what they're doing to do so. Which is why we have to reach the level of beyond their, what must I say?
The capability of thinking.
Their thinking, right?
Right.
Our thinking has to be above theirs. Our thinking level. Isn't brother? right? Because right now, we're not, right? But this is what they did to us to make sure of that. Our people are not reading. They don't even know how to read. Not writing. Sisters and brothers, don't even want to write. Don't even want to read. This is how bad the condition is of the spring people of our nation, right? We're in a bad condition, sisters and brothers. In order to escape what's about to take place and move forward, we have to come out of that. So imagine that battle. Imagine that fight.
Imagine that.
But the thing is that the reason why we cannot rise, we cannot focus is because they are distracting us, sisters and brothers, 24/7, like I shared. Which is why that God is going to get rid of that distraction. And that is going to be, sisters and brothers, the shock of the hour. The shock of the hour, sisters and brothers. Let's get back here. Shock of the hour. It said men's hearts will fail. Men's hearts fell in them for fear. For looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. So that means that the event hadn't happened yet, which is false Israel being destroyed. Right? What's so significant about false Israel? They've stolen our identity, sisters and brothers. That's what's significant about them.
Right.
And they're the God of this world, right? They're in control of everything. Like I shared, that you're watching, listening to, sports, the school system, your job, sisters and brothers. They're in control of that. The American dream. Because they have stolen your identity, sisters and brothers. And they can never let you find that out, right? And this year, men's hearts will fail from fear, from things, for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. I mean, it hasn't happened yet. This event hasn't happened yet. And they realize that false Israel is about to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? You can see the war happening right now, sisters and brothers. And eventually they're going to see that they're about to go down. And that's going to cause, sisters and brothers, you don't understand. This is going to be a time like no other. Men's hearts failing them. People going to have heart attacks just from hearing about what's about to happen. Because, like I said, this is going to be an abomination. Why? Because if they're God's people, then they should not be uprooted out of that land, right? And they should be in the land that it claimed that God's people will be in, right? That it tells you right here. In Genesis chapter 15, verse 18, it tells you that in that day, God made a covenant, which is God's sure word that he made with his people, that saying, unto thy seed have I given this land from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. It's identifying a location, sisters and brothers. It's identifying a location. Arabia, sisters and brothers. Arabia. Saudi Arabia. Right? That's our heaven. That's our promised land. But where are they? Are they in that land? They're not, sisters and brothers. So on top of that, they're going to be uprooted out of the land they are in, Palestine, right? And that's not supposed to happen. They're God's people, right? And it said that if those who curse God's people will be cursed, right? Those who bless them will be blessed, which is why the whole world is supporting false Israel. They think they're blessing God's people, right? But when they find out that they've been cursing God's people, which is us, sisters and brothers, what did it say? Men's heart will fail them from fear for what's to come, right? Right? Because they've been cursing God's people, sisters and brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that you will surely be cursed, right? You'll be cursed. Meaning they're cursed, right? So what is a criminal to do before his court date? Try to get rid of all the evidence of the crime so he's not convicted. And like I shared, that's their plan, to get rid of us, sisters and brothers.
Yeah. They have a choice. They got to get rid of us. Like Sister shared, they see false Israel about to go down. Uh-oh. That can't happen. He said, like you said, it's abomination. It's not supposed to happen. They're not supposed to be removed. It's supposed to be the opposite day. God supposed to come save them, right? God supposed to fight with them, fight against them, fight with them against their enemies. But now the world's witnessing that God's against them, and God's attacking them, and these God's chosen people, right? So what hope do they have if God's so-called chosen people are being destroyed by God? That means that they're phonies, they're fakes, because they're not to be they weren't supposed to be uprooted or removed. That's an abomination. That's not supposed to happen. I mean that they weren't who they claimed to be. Then who the hell were they? That means that they were somebody else. Satan. That's what Revelation tells us. Revelations chapters 2 and 3, verse 9, both chapters tell you exactly who they are. It says, "In the blasphemy are the ones saying Jews to be themselves, and not they are, but synagogue of the Satan." See? It says here, "Look, I am giving out of the synagogue of the Satan, of the ones saying themselves Jews to be, and not they are, but they are lying." You see? So the ones that's implying that they're, well, the ones who call themselves Jews, right? Because they're implying that they're from the tribe of Judah, which means that they're trying to say that they're original. You see, because we come from the tribe of Judah. The God comes from the tribe of Judah. The message of the covenant comes from the tribe of Judah. We are God's people. You see, but they're implying that they're from the tribe of Judah, but they don't even call themselves Judah. They call themselves Jews, which is slang. It's a term that they use as slang for Judah. But it says those who call themselves Jews, they're lying. In the blasphemy, which is a lie, are the ones saying Jews be themselves, and not they are, but Satan. So once this scenario kicks off and they're about to be destroyed, and when they are destroyed, it'd be made manifest to the world that there's Satan, and they was blessing Satan. They was God. They was wholly against God. You see, and now everybody realized that they're in trouble. It said, like I said, men's hearts will be failing them. It said millions of men's hearts will be failing them. Heart attacks worldwide from fear of what's to come. The expectation, like you said, it ain't happened. It's the idea of what's going to happen from what they're seeing taking place. They see what's going on over there. It's coming here, but way worse than anything you can imagine. So when they see them over there, starving and being blown up, being killed, being tormented, going through the suffering they're about to go through, which is going to be tremendous. When they see all that happening over there, and the tables have turned, everything backfire. That's what it said. All things will fail. And hear what they say and they do. I mean, they was committing, they was doing the abomination of desolation. Now it's their desolation, which is going to be a gratifying, well deserving desolation. You see, it's going to be great, and it's going to be so bad. It's going to be worse than any world wars, any Great Depressions, severe recessions. It's going to be worse than any Holocaust, any massacres, any anything that you know of. It's way worse than anything you can imagine. But it's going to be worse than our own experience. That's terrible. But worse than our own experience ain't nothing in the world being worse than our own experience. That's the worst thing that has ever happened in human history. You mean tell me it's gonna be worse than that? You said children be gray headed. We ain't ever seen that. You know how much stress a child had to be under to be gray headed? I mean, they have to be under intense pressure. That's what I said. The time of unprecedented trouble. It said, time like no other, never would it be an intense time of darkness. Complete darkness. No light for the enemy. But we have light. You see? But it's lights out for them completely. You see? It said, without a ray of hope or joy, dark. You see, you run from this, they run into that. You run from that, they run into this. It said no hope. You see? It said complete bad news, a domino effect of terrible things to come. Where strange things going to happen. It said there won't be any reinsurance. It'll be complete. It'll be no certainty. Everything that you know, there will never be any. There's no restoring this thing. It said it'd be bad news. It's raining down. You see? That's what's coming here to America. Plagues. You see? A bunch of things that's not going to be. It's not going to be. You're not going to be able to reverse these things. It's over with. This bed has been made, and that's why we tell our people don't. You must know. You must be able to identify your enemies, or you are your own enemy. Because if you thinking that these people are your friends, that we're one humanity, and we're all just people. Well, you're gonna go down with the enemy. You see? Because it's like when if you with somebody that committed a crime and you with them, guess what happened to you? You go down with them for association. That's why we're trying to explain to you. That's why you got to be able to know who they are. So you don't mix up with them. That means you suffer the same consequence. And that's what they want. Like you said, they've been trying to destroy you. And they're about to make it very clear in a minute that they're going to destroy you. But their last desperate attempt is to reach out from their grave, to take you with them. And they'll do anything to do that. And keeping you confused and misled is part of their plan. You see? And you eliminate yourself from not understanding who they are, from lack of knowledge of your enemies. Because during this time, it's going to be a famine. You understand what that means? No food, no water, no resources, no oil, no gas, no electricity. It's going to be cold. With no electricity, won't be no heating in the dead of winter. You see, no energy for heating in the dead of winter. People freezing to death. Cold as hell with no food. People can't even imagine that because they eat all damn day, eat all around the clock, 24/7, 365, all year round. And if a person did take a break, that's the last time they did that. No food. You understand? So imagine when there's no food. Imagine when there's no food. Whoa. That's a reality check. That's serious. You need food. You need food to sustain yourself. And when there's no food, what do people do? They get desperate. They start doing things that they ain't never thought they were gonna do. They resort to cannibalism. People start eating each other. So think about it, brothers and sisters. What does that put you at? So they got you believing that they your friend. They knock you right over the damn head and haul you up and cut you up and put you on their damn dinner table. Why do you think they put you as 3/5 of a human in their constitution? Well, once this happened, like I just said, they know what the hell's going on. They know what's going on. They use the scripture as their guidance.
And that's what it is.
Exactly. It's their guidance.
That is past tense.
Right. You tell you, but they know what's going on because they know it's future. They know they're living it out. So they paying attention. So, like you said, when this day come, they prepare for this day because they read the scripture. Yeah. So they put you as 3/5 of a human, a person. People get technical with it for a reason. For when this day come, they'll have food, and they classify you as an animal to justify them eating your ass. Excuse my language, brothers and sisters, but that's what it is. And that's what's gonna happen. That's why I say it's dark. The depths of your enemies. You don't even know. You ain't never thought. You can't think like them. That's why you see them good old horror films and all these movies. And man, that's just them acting. It's gonna be way worse than anything you ever seen them put together. Somebody you can't even fathom it. It's unimaginable. They gonna when they snap into it, you understand? They don't even realize how much wicked and sick they are.
And unprecedented. Time like no other. So they're gonna see themselves in a light that they never seen themselves.
Right.
But
they ain't never even seen
it's gonna be who they are.
Well, they'll snap right into it.
And rather, right.
And they're gonna feel the best they ever felt in their whole life. Even during this most terrible time, they're gonna be the freest they've ever been. Because they're being other than themselves as well. You see? Everybody's being other than themselves. They're not being true devils. You see? And we're not being like we are. See, because when we separate, let's just say, when they separate, can't have that. Right. They're gonna turn them straight to monsters. Beasts. He said we meant it to beast is hard. So us being amongst them is making them good people. Because that's who we are. And like you said, we doing all this stuff. We doing all these things, these wicked things, because of them. You see? That's why I said complete separation. We get away from them. So we can, just like I said, it's not in you, it's on you. You see?
Imagine that. Excuse me, sisters and brothers. Give me one moment. All right, sisters and brothers, excuse me. Imagine the wrath of the black man and woman when they find out that they've been lied to, right? Deceived. Sisters and brothers. Like it's just gonna be unprecedented time, a time like no other. They've been lied to. The beacon lights are supposed to be, the lights are supposed to be beacon for them in the time of darkness. Are their enemies, demons, pastors and preachers, Farrakhan, all these people who are supposed to be beacon lights for our people. Telling them about the Abrahamic covenant, our vision, preparing us for the times.
Right.
They're all your enemies. And they've been leading you to death. Just imagine the wrath of those people when they find out that they've been led astray. Sisters and brothers, they've done things under the cross, under the Christianity.
Right. Under the label and bed of the cross.
Thinking they're doing good things, right?
Right. So they think they made good manufacturing.
And they find out that was all a lie, sisters and brothers. And now they're going to be destroyed, sisters and brothers, because it's too late, right? They said, I wouldn't want to be in their shoes if they were made from gold, right? Wouldn't want to be in them pastors or preachers' shoes, sisters and brothers, Farrakhan shoes, none of them. And they're made out of gold, sisters and brothers, during this time. Unprecedented time, sisters and brothers. Consequence, people are about to reap what they've sown, right? Sisters and brothers. The wrath of the black man and woman during this time, sisters and brothers. We've been deceived. Our people have been misled. It's our people perish due to lack of knowledge. And they're making sure that you lack that knowledge, right? Claiming to be beacon lights for you, guiding for you. They're lying, sisters and brothers. Deceiving you. Telling you not going anywhere. And that's a major red flag, sisters and brothers, for you to understand during this time, because there's going to be two groups of blacks that's going to unite right here in America, right? Going to be original, which is us, sisters and brothers. You got the demons that's going to unite, right? And they're going to unite under the fact that America, they're going to take over America, right? They're not going anywhere, right? That's going to be the mindset of the enemy. Your vision is the Abrahamic covenant, sisters and brothers. 100% separation, complete separation, sisters and brothers. That is the identification. The green flag of what you need to be listening to. That's the lyric that you need to follow. The Abrahamic covenant. Right? That's your vision, sisters and brothers. And that red flag is, we're not going anywhere. We're staying here, taking over America. 6 states. That is a red flag, sisters and brothers. Those are your enemies. And they're going to unite during this time, sisters and brothers. So you're going to have to go to the right side, right? And this is your vision, sisters and brothers. This light, we are the true beacon lights for you. Telling you your vision, telling you who your enemies are, sisters and brothers. That is what those beacon lights are supposed to be teaching you, right? But that's not what they're doing. They're robbing you, sisters and brothers. Taking all your money from you. Lying to you. Charging you for what's yours. This is a free gift. That's another red flag, sisters and brothers. This is a free gift. Because it's yours. You earned it. You deserve it, sisters and brothers. You went through, sisters and brothers, this is what you were promised. The God promised. His sure word he made to his people. This is your reward for suffering here in hell, right? And they're charging you to tell you about these things, but they're not even telling you about it. That's even worse. Sisters and brothers, your vision is the Abrahamic covenant, sisters and brothers. And we have to understand that we will eat. We will have food, but they won't. They're going to starve. No hope, sisters and brothers. So you don't want to be here. But the thing is that we have to, our nation has to see this, right? In full HD, which is why we have to stay behind and go through the tribulations, right? Because this tribulation is this is what's going to really change your mind, sister and brother. Because you don't understand, right? We can tell you all day, and we don't even understand, sisters and brothers. We understand to what we're telling you, but I'm saying this is a time like unprecedented time, so no one has ever experienced this, right? Is what I'm trying to express. So nobody, we can only give you examples. We can only give you what the scriptures telling us, right? He said that men will eat their own flesh. This is where you get that cannibalism from, their sons and daughters, right? So we're giving you what the scriptures are telling us, brothers, because this is a time like no other. One will eat her own placenta, her own baby, give birth in silence, and brothers. It said they will cause them to eat the flesh of their own sons, the flesh of their own daughters. Everyone shall eat the flesh of their friend in the seas, brothers. So this is giving you an idea, telling us what to tell our people, right? So like I said, we've never experienced this, none of us. Not in this time, right? We've never experienced. We don't understand what these devils has done to us, but we're about to see it, right? Which is important, so we can, because it's going to take that. It's going to take that, because right now you don't see them as being bad people, right? But you're going to see them in their full true light when this event takes place, sisters and brothers, because they're going to be attacking all blacks, sisters and brothers. On top of them showing you who they truly are, sisters and brothers. So our nation going to need a great shaking, and this is going to be that shaking, sisters and brothers. It's going to get us to the level of wanting to get the hell out of here, sisters and brothers. Right? Because right now you're comfortable, right? You think everything's okay. But it's not. Which is why this is important. So you can see this. We need to see this, right? It says experience is the best teacher, right? So we need to experience this. We have to understand that during this time, no weapon formed against us will prosper. We have to understand that all their weapons, they're going to fail because their reality is coming to an end. And all these weapons are winter weapons, right? And what we got? The spring weapons, sisters and brothers. We don't need guns, knives, bombs, right? Because through us, our unity, us coming together as one body through our discipline, we control the atmosphere. You understand that? We control the weather. Our nation, sisters and brothers. And the weather is worse than an atomic bomb, sisters and brothers. A gun, a knife. And this is the weapons of the spring, right? So all their weapons will fail and they will not prosper, right? Because they're all winter weapons, right? On top of us coming together, our unity, that's going to be our protection, sisters and brothers. Understand that we're one body. One body. One fails, we all fail. That's where the power lies, that unity. us understanding we're one body. And once we get to that understanding, get to that point, we will have to now get our minds back. And our minds is at Injil, right? And that's the map that you're going to need to get out of here. These books, these 3 books, Revelation, sisters and brothers, going to have to upload them, understand them, right? Understand the injury because that is your mind. And without applying those 5 mathematical rules, we won't even be able to upload that mind, right? That you need. So this all comes together, and this is the mind that the level of thinking that the angel will give us will bring us to the level of thinking that we need to be on to come into our heaven, right? To the next reality, into the spring. Sisters and brothers, if Brother David don't have anything to say.
Amen.
All right, with that, we'll be back with more. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.